Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft discussion today. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I am thrilled to be here with Giovanni during bow hunting season. But I just found out from a very nice caretaker here that bow hunting is not allowed here. They do allow rifle season, so G and I have to dip for like 3 weeks, and that's kind of sad. But not yet. We don't have to think about it today because it's not in my day today. That whole problema will have a solution when it's time, right? And that's not part of my day today. And right here is my day today. And so, yeah. So what I really want to talk about is always move forward. You know, really there's no alternative. It's sort of an illusion because when we feel stuck, it's just that we're kind of in this low vibration place. You know, typically, you know, with some kind of negative emotion going on about something. You know, that's what gets us stuck. But really, it's just a matter of time before we get unstuck, right? There is no alternative besides, you know, keep plugging. It just doesn't always seem like that when we're in it. It's kind of a tough sell, you know, when we're in it. So it's very important, whether it's people being snarky or whether it's some, you know, big life thing that we, you know, we are going to come out, as they say, we are going to come out on top. The cream always rises to the top. There's all these different cliches. One in the 12-step programs, which I really like, is the only way out is through. And I'm not saying that's not a really tough sell when you're in some big life-changing, you know, thing going on in your life. It is a tough sell, but it is just a plain and simple truth. And moving forward. And actually, I just did I got to tell everybody, I am officially on the Instagram. So I feel like a young grasshopper with marketing helped me. The brilliant marketing goddesses at Champlain are helping me, and I'm like a white belt. If Instagram were a martial art, I'd be a white belt, kind of sitting in lotus position, taking it all in, because there's a lot to that you know, and these young adults are fluent in it. I feel like there should be like a Rosetta Stone for Instagram, but it kind of is, because I've got my marketing goddess Kaylee helping me out. So you can follow me on the gram. I'll put that underneath here, and it's all well-being stuff. There's nothing else. It's not going to be, you know, random pictures of things. It's going to be all uplifting, or it is. It's currently up. It's been about a week, I think. Brief things. So anyway, so where I'm going with that is I did one today about just this, moving forward. And this was a moving forward, because moving forward has all kinds of different contexts, right? When you come down to it, that's what we want to do always, is move forward. But I also did one today about when we have successes, any kind of success. It doesn't have to be a huge one. It can be a huge one, though. And sadly, sometimes there are people who, you know, for lack of a better word, they just get jealous. They don't come out. They're not going to come out and say that, because jealous people can't say they're jealous. That's a thing. I'm sure you know, because it's like I couldn't reduce myself to being jealous, even though I'm being passive aggressive all over the place and and trying to take you down, maybe without noticing it, maybe with noticing it. So part of the moving forward too, when we have things like that, maybe it's in the workplace, maybe it's with family, you know, whatever. But the way to deal with those kind of people in a moving forward sort of way is what we've talked about before, which is being quietly effective. Because it actually, as you know, it digs in. When we try to dig in, that's that Shempa surge, right? That's that Sanskrit word for that feeling we get when somebody's being snarky, or they say or do something that we know is not right, and they're trying to get in our rib cage, and we just want to kind of back. To not do that, it makes it all, it's like that's like dumping gasoline on a fire. So part of this, in this particular situation with moving forward, what we want to do is be quietly effective with whatever success it is. We can't force them to be happy for us. We can't force them to celebrate it with us. That just isn't going to work, because they're in that snarky place. It's also important to realize that has zero to do with you. Nothing. Sadly, again, is sometimes people's successes, they might be little itty-bitty successes. You got a pat on the back from the boss right in front of Snark Face, you know, and they're silently jealous, and it's eating them up on the inside. The green-eyed monsters, isn't that what they call the jealousy little things? Yeah. And so what we have to do is, by being quietly effective, means we don't say a word, we don't bring it up. We don't say, hey, did you see my article here? Hey, did you notice that? Did the boss, blah, 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 blah. No, we don't say a word, not a word. Just keep moving forward, you know, on your high-flying disc with your passion and purpose. This is the best thing you can possibly do for you and for them. Because the other thing That's, first of all, that's what works the best. That's the logical thing to do. But also, when we're up on our high-flying disc being successful, the last thing we want to do, is lower our own vibe just so we can connect with them and make them feel better, you know, wallowing in whatever they're wallowing in. We don't even want to connect with that. Just don't even do it. So we're not being showboats either, because that bites us in the tushy. That's not good karma. It's just going forward, moving forward with passion and purpose on your authentic high-flying disc. Let the you know, those, you know, riding on their low-flying disc, let them self-destruct. They can't. Sometimes they just can't get out of their own way, and that's not even a judgment. Well, it is if they're being mean. I don't like meanness. Sometimes, though, it's just stuff that, you know, like we can't help. We can't help how we feel, and they feel how they feel, and it's maybe shining light on how they have not fulfilled their own purpose, and that's, so really, the issue is their own, and we know that, right? The issue is theirs, not yours. So really, just step out of the current, step out of the way, let them figure it all out themselves. It's not your job. Your job is to pay attention to your own feelings and what makes you feel good and what doesn't. And so if, you know, you're up there on your high-flying disc, doing your thing, being successful, and I mean successful in any kind of way. I'm not talking about, you know, simply money and square footage and all that. I'm talking about the authentic fulfillment and satisfaction of being spot on in alignment with what you're meant to do on this earth. And it's ironic because all that, the money and the square footage and stuff, people can be jealous of that too. But just in my own life circumstances, it seems that people often get more jealous just seeing you be so happy, which is sad. You know, happy for us, sad for them that it just shines a light. But you know, if we look at it that maybe in some way down the road when they're ready, right? Because it's not a judgment. We feel how we feel, and we are where we are along our path. We're, you know, that's just is what it is. That in some sort of way, maybe that's a nudge to them that they'll eventually, when they land in that place, to really reflect and introspect. You know, later on, what had me so stirred up about so and so's promotion, and maybe that will urge them to start to pursue. You know, to try to jump back on, maybe they veered off to jump back on their own authentic path. So even all that snark, hopefully, will eventually be in their favor when they look back and try to figure out, like, wow, I wasn't listening. Like, there were whispers everywhere, and I just was all wrapped up in everything I haven't done and how I'm, you know, not happy with this or that. Yeah. Because, yeah, so honestly, I think people get more, the light shines more, or what am I trying to say here? That people can be jealous of anything, but they tend to be jealous of the authentics, I think. Just because it stirs their own soup, you know? I think that's really true. So again, all we can do is pay attention to how we feel, because what's going on with them is not important. And I'm not saying that we don't care about people. Of course we care about people. But the thing is, all the feeling badly for them isn't going to fix them. We can't fix them. They can only fix them. We can't fix them. And so it's important to pay attention to your own green lights with how you feel. Oprah says it too. My good friend Tom says it with the synchronicity stuff. Pay attention. Stay on your own path. That's the best thing we can do for ourselves and the whole world, honestly, is stay on that high-flying disc, being super receptive to the inner voice and moving forward with your own passion and purpose. That's it. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the Notch, Giovanni's Notch in northern Vermont. Have a mindful, passionate day.